So here I'm going to talk about how I wrote my blurb. Wow, my screen is freaking out a little bit. Okay, I'm going to roll with this. So from my book, Romance Author Versus Blurb, I just have some guidelines to help you write a blurb. And I didn't write my how-to because I am just silly and felt like it. I did it because I legit needed a way to write my own blurbs, and this is how I do them. So I start with the characters. I have kind of fill in the blank sentences. Character is unique, who wants goal, but conflict is in the way. And then I take these fill in the blank sentences and I apply them to my character so I can write my blurb. So here I have Charlotte Moore is energetic, who wants to go home, but she has to wait for her aunt to approve of her ladylike behavior. And then for the other character, because it's a romance, Henry Simmons is a Corinthian who wants to save his crumbling estate but struggles to find the income to do so. So, what I mean by this is I have a character, they are a unique individual in some way, they have a personal goal, but a specific conflict is preventing them from quickly and easily obtaining this goal. So, this is to this specific character, and it's kind of reflective of their character arc. Then I get to the conflict because a blurb is going to want to display the conflict. So I have character A doesn't immediately commit to character B because this is a romance. So I want to know, why aren't they immediately together? Because reason from character A's perspective. And then fill in the blank for the other character. And these sentences are just to help you understand the key parts of your story that might be important to include in your blurb. So for that, I have Charlotte doesn't immediately commit to Henry because she wants to go home, which means following her aunt's rules and encouraging Henry to court someone her aunt wants him to marry. So that's character A, her reasoning from her perspective for why they aren't together. And then for the actual conflict, I have the characters will not fall in love if they cannot overcome the big conflict. And for them, their big conflict is if they cannot decide to live for themselves, kind of accept who they are. And then I kind of have a blurb skeleton. And the first one I decided to use for this blurb was kind of a little section on character A, a little section on character B, and then ending with the conflict, and I call it an if-then ending, sort of if blah 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 happens, then will blah 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 fall in love. Something that leaves your readers wanting to read more. So I did kind of this fill in the blank section, and I came up with this blurb. Energetic, here's your unique identifier. Keep in mind, this is a rough draft. Charlotte Moore has always felt trapped by society's expectations. For one little mistake at a Christmas ball, she is now stuck in a rural manor. Blah, 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 blah. I get into her aunt a little bit because to me, as the story writer, the aunt was an important character. And then I have, of the Corinthian set, Henry Simmons has two loves, anything sporting and his crumbling estate. Blah, 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 and I get into mentioning Miss Moore at the end of this one. And then I say, with Henry, the parts of herself that Charlotte has locked away come sparkling forward. The more she wonders whether staying on society's nice list is worth losing the joy in life. Can Charlotte find happiness within the rules, or will following her heart be her biggest scandal yet? I wrote this, I tweaked it, I played with it, and then I shared it with a very close just group of friends of mine, just close friends, and I was like, what do you guys think about this? Like, if you were just randomly walking around, would you pick up this book? What do you think of the blurb? And my feedback was the parts about the aunt were a little confusing for them. They wanted more information clarifying the aunt's role, and then they had a couple issues. They wanted to know my target audience because Corinthian is a very historically set word, and a lot of them didn't know what that meant. So I did get some solid feedback. So I actually went back to the drawing board because none of my friends liked this blurb. They didn't like it. Why didn't they like it? Because I have a few rules for what not to include in blurbs, and one of the rules is too many characters. don't cram too many characters into your blurb. Really, it should just be your main two love interests. And the aunt was just too much information. She was too confusing. So they wanted more information on the aunt, and my solution was actually to remove the aunt completely. And then, since I'm writing a novella and more of my book is from the heroine's perspective, I actually decided that one of my other feedbacks was that there was this part about the female love interest and this part about the male love interest, and then we went back to a little bit more of the female love interest point of view, and it was a little bit back and forth, and I was like, you know what, I get it. If I was writing a longer novel, I would try harder to include both of them, but this is a novella and it focuses more on her perspective, so I'm going to go back and I'm going to rewrite it from just her perspective, and I'm going to take out the aunt completely. So I did a complete rewrite of my blurb. Writing a blurb is a process. So I have section 1. I introduce character A, why she's unique, and what her goal is. Section 2, I have an inciting incident that brings the two love interests together, and I mention character B. They don't get their own little section in this part. Section 3, the conflict from characters A's perspective. And then section 4, the if-then ending. So here I have a completely different blurb that when I shared it with my friends, though, because writing a blurb is a process, I mean, compared to the first blurb, they loved it. They were like, I would buy this book. I like it. It's way better than what you had before. This is better. So I have, ever since she created a scandal at a Christmas ball, Charlotte Moore has dreaded the return of the holiday. For her, it was another reminder that she didn't quite fit into the confining mold of a proper young lady. So there I have a little bit about what makes her unique. This year at a small Christmas party, Charlotte is tasked with proving to her family that she can behave within society's expectations or be permanently exiled to her aunt's rural manor. There she has a goal. She doesn't want to be permanently exiled. Charlotte is determined to stifle her unladylike urges and act the perfect debutante. But then the very cause of her past scandal comes knocking at the door, and it has in tow the daring, dashing, devil-may-care Henry Simmons. There I kind of get into the inciting incident a little bit in character B. The rules say to stay away. They say it's not proper to play games at midnight or get caught alone under the mistletoe. They also say Charlotte laughs too loud, dances the wrong dance, and shouldn't play with fire. So here's some of the conflict from character A's perspective. She has all these things she wants to do that everyone tells her are not okay. The more time she spends with the handsome rogue, the more she wonders whether staying on society's nice list is worth losing the joy in life. Can Charlotte find happiness within the rules, or will following her heart be her biggest scandal yet? So here I take the conflict and I kind of tie it into here's the conflict. Can the character make it work out? And I kind of agree with my friends that this one is a lot better than the first one. The first one was messy. This one is a little bit more to the point. The conflict is stronger because I have it a little bit more focused. I don't even mention the aunt, so I'm following, my own rules. Don't add too many random characters. And that's it. So there is kind of how I use my formulas, and I have these formulas also in the guide section, so like you can see all of my information in a like how-to guide for how to write a blurb. I mean, you can buy my book, Romance Author Versus Blurb, but really all the information is right here for free, and the book is just extra information to help you personally if you need more information, but you can do it on your own. I don't know. Good luck to you. That's what I did. Good luck to you guys. Let me know if you have any questions. I'm here.